Hello. Been a long time since I've done a live. I'm excited to be here. So I am going to be running a 7-day video series. There's so much going on in the world right now. It's crazy. And I thought I can't change the world, but I can definitely help people by showing up every day and bringing tons of value and sharing some of the things that I teach my clients that I charge a lot of money for, but that I want to support other people that maybe haven't interacted with me before, have never come across my account. So I'm going to be hopping on here for 7 days. And if we haven't met before, my name is Donnell, and I help my clients heal forward. It's a modality that I created to become their thriving future selves now when it comes to wealth and health and relationships. And so I'm going to be doing these 7 days as if we're sitting together and having a cup of coffee or some tea. I just want it to be super casual because I just want to have fun. I just want to play and have fun. And so I thought, what better way to support people during a time when there's a lot of calamity and chaos in the collective. This is a time when people start to maybe feel like things might be a little out of control. The astrology is wild. I cannot wait to teach my featuring new moon this Wednesday. I'm teaching it on Wednesday to support my clients because there's a big new moon on Saturday. So there's just tons of stuff happening. And if you've been following the astrology, which I do because I love it, there's so much happening for us to elevate and shift and grow and expand. And I don't know about you, but I like to grow through fun, not necessarily through suffering, which brings me to what I'm going to be talking about today. So I'm going to be every day for 7 days, I'm going to be talking about this thing called the identity makeover. And it's about changing your inside so your external world can shift. And you have an identity that you're operating from today. So whatever your life is all about, whatever you got going on, it's based on the identity that you're operating from, and your identity comes from your subconscious. And so when you want something in life, not need, but when you want something, you have an opportunity, well, hopefully to choose it, but to decide to become a creator. Just like you're creating a masterpiece of art. If you were, and I actually think about this as art because I don't know how to paint. I don't know how to do anything when it comes to art. I have these, my 2 daughters are these amazing artists. I can't even believe it. They got it from their dad, probably, not me. And I love when they sit down to a blank piece of paper and they decide, what am I going to create? And they ask me, Mom, what should I draw? What should I do? What should I create today? And I want you to think about your life as that, as a creation, not something necessarily that you need to fix. So many people are in this mindset of, I have to fix this thing. This is wrong with me. I don't know if I'll ever have this. And when you're in that specific orientation of like, I have to fix this, you're already coming from lack. You're coming from this place that you don't have the answers and that you're going to be stuck the rest of your life. And it's not a conscious thought. It's not like you're saying, oh yeah, I don't have, it's very unconscious, but it's this thought process of, I haven't figured it out yet. I keep staying stuck. There must be something wrong with me. And the truth of it is there's nothing wrong with you. You just are coming from maybe the wrong orientation, the wrong place to figure out how you're going to shift your reality. And the invitation is to come from a place of creativity and life force. And what I mean by life force is really seeing yourself as this conduit of source energy and allowing source energy to move through your life so you can create what it is that you desire. But you can't create anything if you don't have a vision. So part of what Heal Forward is based on is this thing that you want to create, this big, hopefully big, exciting, epic vision for your life. And it's going to change, as time goes on. But what is your vision that you have right now? And sometimes I'll meet with people and they're like, I don't know what I want. And I'm always confused because I'm like, well, how are you going to get somewhere? And if you don't know what you want, if you don't have a vision for your reality. And maybe some of you are thinking, well, I'm just content with the way things are. Well, if you're just content with the way I want you to be content with certain parts of your life, but there's gotta be, if you're in the path of growth and seeing life as this opportunity to evolve, then there is some part of your reality, whether it's your finances or your health or your relationships, where you can grow. So when you think about your vision for your life, it's about what would excite you, what would you love, because healing forward is about moving towards the things that you desire from an open heart. It's not about doing it from a place of ego where, like, and I see this all the time, if I just made this much money, then I would feel better about myself and I'd have a better self-esteem and people would like me. And it's not, that's the ego, and that's gonna fall. Like, even if you made all the money, you don't love yourself. So if you don't love yourself, it's gonna fall away at some point. All the things that we do, if it's based on trying to prove ourselves to the world, to gain recognition and validation because we feel empty inside, you're coming from this place of this orientation, like I said, of fixing something. So coming from your heart, coming from this part of you, this consciousness that is connected to source, is where things get really fun. So I want you to think about it. I'm going to keep these kind of short and sweet because I don't want to, I know I'm going to be coming on every single day, but what I want you to think about is for your vision. If you were to list out 4 areas of your life: family, faith, finances, and fitness. I borrowed this from my mentor, Yvonne, when I was in my Futuring certification. If you just think about those 4 areas of your life and you were to just get on it, get a piece of paper, this is your first assignment for the first day of this identity makeover, is you think about, what is it that I really want in these areas? What is it that I really want in these areas? So finances, all your wealth, your job, what you're doing to make money, your retirement, your savings, all that kind of stuff. Your fitness is your emotional well-being, all that kind of stuff. Your faith is your spirituality, and your family is all your relationships, not just, not just your family. So if you think about those 4 areas and you think about what is it, that's what we have to start with, the vision that you desire. And maybe for some, you're super content. Maybe there's a certain part of your reality where you're like, I've got it, I'm good. But let's say relationships. I was just talking to one of my clients earlier and she's like, I really want to be in a relationship. I want an amazing guy. I want to have a family and all these kinds of things. It's like, okay, that's your vision. And once you identify your vision, this is going to be the very thing that is going to catapult you forward. So once you claim, so if you're into manifesting and you've claimed something, then you should know that what happens next, hopefully. And maybe you haven't been taught this, because a lot of times people don't talk about this very part that I'm going to say next, is once you claim something, you say, okay, this is what my heart desires. And I want, before I even say what's going to happen next, I want to give you permission. What I mean by that is I want you to have permission to go like 10x your vision if you want. I don't believe in these small, tiny little visions like, okay, I want to get healthy. What do you mean you want to get healthy? Like, get more specific. Do you want to change the way that you eat? Do you want to be at the gym more? Like, what is healthy? Do you want to get rid of a disease that you're dealing with or an autoimmune thing? Like, what do you want specifically in that area? And if you're like, well, God, I've been unhealthy for so many years, I can't even imagine being a healthy person. Don't worry about the how. That's not what we're focusing. We're focusing on who and what you want. So first is the what in those areas of your life, in those family, finances, fitness, and faith. And then once you come up with the what, then the question is going to be, who do you get to become? Okay, who do you get to be? And I'm going to talk about that moving forward in other days. But just identifying what is the vision. And maybe you can even imagine a day in the life of this future version of you that exists in another timeline. Because that is the truth of this, is there is a version of you, quantum physics, that exists in another timeline that is already experiencing this. So if you're kind of thinking, this is why I want to give you permission. If you're thinking, well, it's just too big for me to think that, it's too big for me to ask for, these things. Really check in with your heart. If it's a ridiculous thing and it's so far off, then maybe you want to, kind of parse it back a little bit. But you should, if this life should be about going for what you want. It shouldn't just be about settling. It shouldn't be like, well, I don't know if I'm ever going to get this thing. Go big. My best friend and I always used to say when we were young, go big or go home. I mean, seriously. And so once you come up with the what, and I want you to claim it. I want you to say a prayer. I want you to write it on a piece of paper. Maybe at the new moon this Saturday, you can put it out to the universe. I want you to tell somebody that you really trust, this is what I really want in my life. I want you to claim it. And then I want you to understand that after that, that's when the soul curriculum will come. And we'll talk about that in another day. But basically, in order to become the person that has the very thing that you desire, you are going to have to change internally. You are going to have to reprogram your subconscious. Your subconscious is that part of you that was formed from 0 to 7 years old, that you took on so many things. I'll talk about that tomorrow, but you took on all these programs and beliefs. And it's not your conscious mind. It's not the part of you that's doing all the affirmations and all the mantras and saying to everybody, I want to make $1 million, but nothing's really happening. And every time I think about making $1 million and I'm supposed to show up online, I don't, because I'm too scared. Because you're not taking courageous action, because there's a part of you. It's not that something's wrong with you, but there's a part of you, a subconscious aspect that has a program or belief that's running that is keeping you from doing the very things that would change your life. And these 7 days, I want to help you change your life. I want to support you to move and course correct or move the needle forward. But the most important thing I want you to think about is that you have to use your imagination to start to create, and that you are a co-creator with the divine, that you can have whatever it is that you desire, that you don't have to live this life that's based on all this limitation. Because if you're thinking from your past self and what you know to be true already, you've already lost, because that part of you from the past is conditioned and programmed and is only operating from the logical aspect of you. But there is a bigger part of you that is your consciousness, that is connected to the quantum field, that can get answers on demand if you train yourself. That's what I train my clients to do, is to learn how to get their intuition on point and be able to access the information so every single day they know exactly what they're supposed to do to change their lives. So I just want to summarize day 1. And it's about understanding your orientation first and foremost. Are you coming from a place of having to fix, or are you coming into this as a creator, as a co-creator of your reality, that you get to create art? And in order to create art, to heal forward, you need a vision. So you're going to think about what your vision is. You're going to take a little inventory of your life, and you're going to get excited. And if you need something, if you want to work with something, you need a specific timeline. As a suggestion, work with a year out. Think of who do you want to be in a year? If you need something a little, more close to home, let's say 6 months minimum. So 6 to 12 months, you're going to go through in your family, faith, finances, and fitnesses, and you're going to write fitness, and you're going to write down what it is that you want in those areas. And then we'll come back tomorrow, and I'm going to support you tomorrow and how to start releasing the past. Because the past is that conditioned part of you that contains all your subconscious programs. So it's getting past that and into your super conscious to really help you move forward. Thanks for being with me for day 1. I'll see you tomorrow for day 2. And if you have any questions or comments, please share this if you know anybody that would benefit, because I'm just doing this because I just want to help people. Please message me if you have any, anything, comments on this, whether you want to do it on here or you want to private message me. I'd love to know your thoughts. And I hope you have a beautiful day.